So here we go with some Lego gossip that is wrong because he's not actually the establishment fan base for Lego Star Wars. That's my generation, not his. So this guy's opinions are all very wrong and very twisted, and he should stop doing these types of videos.
Chicago deep dish pizza. I don't think these are real Lego sets. Anyway, let's hop right into it with the worst set of 2021. The UCS Republic gun.
No, it's perfectly fine. It is a display model, it is a toy, it is able to be played with somewhat. It's perfectly acceptable. You might find in the future that this goes up in value because people didn't appreciate it at the time.
Boy, there is not much that went well for this set. I mean, this set got about as much negativity to surround it as any set I have
you're
ever
just
seen.
antisocial.
Set that has had a more poor release and reception.
Again, you don't have your own plastic making factory, do you? So you're not on the same level as Lego. You're not able to actually communicate because you're not understanding what they live.
Lego Star Wars fandom and Lego fandom as a whole than the UCS Republic gunship. I probably made a half dozen videos at this point with just things that have continued to go.
No, it sits on the display really well. You know, you're supposed to buy a couple or invest to buy 3 or 4. You're just not buying in enough quantity to realise your dilemma that you've got yourself stuck into
with this set. So I don't want to retread them here, but really what this set comes down to is, yes, it's a beautiful build and really it does deserve to be higher, but all the baggage this set has drags it down deeper than
there's no baggage. No, it's fantastic product.
The Resistance X-Wing, the lone 4+ set for 2021.
Looks great.
Star Wars. And I am entirely convinced at this point
it's just a Resistance
was to
thing.
Have a BB-8 minifigure available for $20 for kids to ask their parents for.
That's fine. People are allowed to buy if they want to buy. You don't prevent people from having a good life.
This set exists. It is just a horrid one, though.
No, wrong. Completely wrong. Those characters are fine. The plastic's not going to disintegrate in the next week. It's perfectly fine. It gives you the impression of a spaceship from a long time ago. And it's designed to amuse people, and it really does amuse people. So leave it alone.
Yes, please comment below and tell me how this set wasn't made for me. That doesn't make it good. Lego Star Wars did a crossover with Alvin and the Chipmunks this year, releasing a Darth Vader completely missing the bottom part of the grill part for his mouth. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, but look at it. It looks fine. There's no law that says it must be accurate to anything, really. If it seems like a Darth Vader, then that's good enough. Doesn't have to have anything else down the bottom of it, as you seem to think it does. It just gives you an impression. And I'm the establishment fan base for Star Wars, so yeah, it looks completely fine. I've given it authorization, so now it's acceptable to buy. It's acceptable to invest your money in. It looks perfectly fine to me.
Reasonable decision here with the sticker design to not include the full grill on the front of Darth Vader, making it look like he's got some real weird thing going on with his teeth.
The weird thing that's going on is you.
Had to be made as a helmet. helmet set, but unfortunately it did not translate very well for a multitude
You
of
keep
reasons. They definitely tried
weirdly
their best,
thinking
but
that you're the
just because you tried your best
establishment and
doesn't
that
mean
you
a good
should
Lego
give
set.
your
For 70
opinion
bucks,
on
this was
everything,
more
but really
expensive
you're
than
not
the
the
other helmet sets that
establishment
they've
fan
released to
base.
this point as well.
You weren't even
Meaning
born.
you're getting an uglier product
You
for
weren't
more
even
money,
alive
which
on
isn't
planet
ideal,
Earth.
and I'm just not a big fan of it. Yeah, Darth Vader helmet.
It's
had to be
irrelevant
good,
what
but
you think of it.
wasn't done well. The Imperial Shuttle for 2021 did a couple things right, but it had one massive problem pertaining
There's
to
no
its
problem
chin.
at
Yeah,
all.
it had a
You're just
massive black
making
chin
up
underneath,
gossip
and it just
all the
didn't look very
time.
good, especially when compared to older Imperial
They're all
Shuttle
fine.
models.
They
It
all
definitely
do
didn't
what
have
they're
enough
supposed to
minifigs
do,
either.
which
It
is just
really
amuse
lacked any
people,
interior space, and thus they only included minifigs that could fit
distract
the interior.
you from a
So for
boring,
70 bucks, you end up with an
mundane
Imperial officer,
life
Darth
on a
Vader, and Luke
spinning planet.
Skywalker. And I feel like sets like this should include like 2 stormtroopers. Like,
You
there just
you
needs to
don't
be
get
more
to
in something like
decide
this for the
anything because
money.
you don't own a factory of.
Than the full-size Imperial Shuttle.
You don't own a plastics factory, so you don't actually. You're not on the same knowledge level as Lego.
It makes for a fine-looking small Imperial Shuttle to throw on your desk or on a shelf, and you don't need to put.
Yeah, they're a great product. I bought a few.
Speaking of small sets, we have the Microfighter Millennium Falcon. Unfortunately, no counterpart Microfighter was released to this one at the.
And there's no law that says they've got to release a second one, as you seem to think in your deluded little mind. It's perfectly fine. It's Han Solo. You probably shouldn't even be buying Han Solo because Han Solo predates you and he's got grey hair now. So it's probably not even relevant to your generation to even be talking about or buying into. You can't afford to buy into everything because there's way too much stuff, so you're supposed to be controlling yourself and limiting your behaviour and not wasting money on trivial stuff that's got nothing to do with you.
Its release, it was the only microfighter to ever release to not have another microfighter.
Yeah, like I said, there's no requirements for them to be doing these other things. You've made up this conundrum all by yourself in your own deluded little reality.
While I still think minifigs reign supreme for May the 4th, I can't deny that LEGO's May 4th 2021 set wasn't terrible like it was in 2014.
This is a fantastic product. That's a fantastic product. Again, they're not going to corrode in the next 10 years. They're going to stay in pristine condition. This is a pristine landscape. It's not going to fall apart. It's not going to get holes in it. It's going to sit there and look good. And if someone wants to play with it, well, then that's great.
Props to LEGO for doing that.
It'll entertain themselves.
In gray, which is the accurate color, and I think it turned out really well. I'm a pretty big fan of this set, although it definitely...
Did you notice that little comment there that was completely false about it being an accurate color? LEGO's entitled to make these things in any color they feel fit. It can be a fantasy concept, it can be a realistic concept, it can be a pristine concept, it can be a relic concept. Yeah, just leave them be. Let them make their own plastic how they want to make it. If they want to change it into a gold colour, then let them change it into a gold colour. It must be very boring being told to make the same grey plastic for 40 years in a row. I mean, you wouldn't want someone coming to you and telling you you can't do this, you can't do that. Leave LEGO alone and let them improve the model and let them give us some different versions of the same thing. Just grow up.
has some issues. It is the only buildable character to not include the minifig version of itself, which I was a bit disappointed by. And there are some issues with the arms of this thing not being able to be held up.
There's no issues with the arms of this thing. You're just inventing all of this stuff.
Kind of fall off a lot on me, so I wasn't a big fan of that. I really love the extra snow that
that's irrelevant, isn't it?
The display plaque, though. I thought that was fun and unique for this particular
After
set.
5 years, you might change your mind, like most people tend to do.
A snow embankment to hold it up. It just looks really fun, and it's a really cool display set.
Yeah, it looks
for
good.
Empire Strikes Back.
That means people want to touch it.
Of microfighters with the AT-AT versus Tauntaun microfighter set for $20. You got a great Luke Skywalker.
But you don't have to buy into this.
Minifigure. I really love.
You're buying into this again. You can't control yourself. You can't limit your behavior.
The helmet for him on Hoth, it just looks fantastic. The AT-AT build is what you would expect from a microfighter AT-AT build, far from perfectly accurate, but more than serviceable. And
serviceable. To the establishment, these look like little toy-like figures, toy-like characters. If you want to buy into it, you're buying into it, but realise you don't get to complain once you're bought into it. Look, they even stamped the number on top of the lightsaber there. That's impressive that they've got such a wonderful ability to do that. They're very skillful at Lego, much better than you.
And then the Tauntaun is just a chubby, fat version of a Tauntaun.
No, it's not. It's a caricature of a Tauntaun. Get it right.
Shuttle is up next, and this one is unfortunately just the wrong color. Lego went with a sand blue color scheme for it.
Wrong again. Oh boy, you're getting lots of things wrong today. They're allowed to do things in different colours because they're building for different eras. So this release gets a blue plastic, and maybe later on they do another release and they change it to a different colour. And then this era becomes known as the era that had the blue plastic. And then you'll be regretting not buying it, and you'll be wanting to chase it down because you'll have all these other future releases that match this item. So Lego knows more about their stuff than you do, and you should just trust the brand and they will look after you after many years. You can't see into the future of Lego, but Lego can. Oh, well, this guy just keeps going on and on and on about stuff that's completely wrong. He's completely wrong, you know. Don't be persuaded by these gossiping men, because men are world-famous liars.